𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 of a witty and clever one. It's just me saying the club's nickname in a stupid way. And I feel like no matter what I achieve from now or the rest of my life, that's probably all I'll be known for, and not even really known for. But we welcome you as we look ahead to Sheffield United versus Chelsea at beautiful downtown Bramall Lane. The kickoff is 5:30 in the PM on Sunday. Just a little Premier League update to the rules to kick this video off. You are now allowed to grab players by the neck as long as those players play for Sheffield United, Rule 15.9.5, just in case you missed that one. So, as you were. Now let's quickly look back at Liverpool away. Yes, we thought we'd lose. Yes, we thought we'd concede more than 2. And yes, we know, bottom, they're top. But I thought, and feel free to disagree with me, United were well in the contest for much of this competitive match. We missed 2 good chances inside the first few minutes, but Liverpool, possibly inevitably, I know many would have felt that way at the time, did take the lead. But the way that they took the lead was so avoidable, and a 𝗍𝗿𝗀 mistake. Not happy seeing that at all, and I feel for him. I want him to do, of course I want him to do well, but he hasn't filled me with confidence in all his performances. When we levelled in the second, there was hope, and Liverpool looked, I thought, pretty frustrated, and all we ever asked for, as Unitedites, is fight, and we got it. And it took a moment of brilliance as 𝗍𝗂𝗏 restored the home side's lead with an absolute thunder bee. And, you know, they needed to make 4 changes for that to happen. They needed to affect the game in a way that we couldn't, and the late Gakpo header, it's a disappointing goal to concede, but perhaps disguised how nervy a time Liverpool had for some of this contest, which everyone seemingly expected to be a walk in the park, or a walk in Anfield. But a walk in the park, exactly what Chris Wilder had previously taken his team for in Merseyside when we'd played there in the past. I don't know if that happened this time, but if it did, 𝗍𝗿𝗀 definitely slipped in some dog mess. On to Chelsea, at the Lane. Basham, Egan, Lowe, Brewster, Davies, Tom Davies that is, and Reece Norrington, Davies, you know, all out, likely for the remainder of the season. We might get lucky with a couple before the close of the season, but remains to be seen. We know about George Baldock and his injury as well. Daniel Jefferson could feature on the bench. I've been saying that for months, all being well. We saw the return from the bench against Liverpool of Anis Ben Slimani. It was good to see. I mean, didn't really have a chance to do anything, but it would be great to see Cameron Archer, I think, you know, back on the grass. Let's wait and see if that happens. Now I'm going to show you this lineup that Nick has suggested. If you'd also like to predict your lineup like this, you can join the Fan Hub community with the link in the description, or using the code 𝗍𝗄-YC5. Nick has gone with 𝗍𝗿𝗀 in net. That's the same 𝗍𝗿𝗀 who has now conceded 22 goals in 7 games. Does he stay in? Chris Wilder has stated he's our number 1, so you have to assume so. Holgate Anel thought he was very good at Anfield, and Jack Robinson, the captain. Bogle and Osborne over Trusty. After a pretty good performance, or maybe at left wing back, we try Brooks. And Andre Brooks, he's left-footed, could work. Souza, not that boy McAtee, Arblaster and 𝗍𝗏𝗏, again, played well in that Liverpool match. McBurney and Ben Brereton Diaz up top. We know they work together at home against Fulham. What do you think Chris Wilder will go with? Will he play Vinicius Souza? I enjoyed the moment against Liverpool when he marked the referee. That was something special. As always, this episode of the Sheff United Way is sponsored by Greene King Sports, where football is more than a game. The league season, of course, entering the business end, and Greene King Sport venues are showing every single televised Sheffield United fixture over the run-in. With more than 900 sports pubs across the UK, it doesn't matter where you're based, you can catch every single minute of the action. Football best enjoyed with your friends, so if you're not at the ground, get a text in the group chat and head to your local Greene King Sports venue to catch a match this month. Don't forget as well to download the Greene King Sport app to enjoy exclusive competitions and discounts whenever there's a game on. Let's talk about our opponents. Chelsea, fresh from a late show at Stamford Bridge against Manchester United. Wow, it'd be nice to actually score winning goals regularly late on. 𝗂𝗂𝗏𝗏 actually scored twice deep into stoppage time. When you look at a clock and you see, what was it, Chelsea 2, Man United 3, I don't know how late it was, but it was late, like almost like 98 minutes, something like that, and Man United still didn't win. That is incredible. And it was the latest winner scored in Premier League history by Chelsea, timed at 100 minutes 39. Remarkable win. Despite having previously given up a 2-goal lead, they will either be exhausted or more likely buoyed by that victory, or maybe a bit of both. What do I know? I'm just an idiot on the internet. 𝗂𝗂𝗏𝗏, if we're picking out a danger man, obviously a real danger man. The 21-year-old has been a standout player since signing for Chelsea in the summer for a fee of £42.5 million, which I think is crazy money. But that's the way football is now, and the way it'll continue to go. I remember when £15 million was the Premier League record for the best player in the league, and arguably the best player in decades. Jackson, look out for him up front, not scoring as often as Chelsea fans may be expected, but he's a speed merchant, wheels for feet, a real threat, and proving popular amongst the fan base. 1 yellow, though, away from suspension. Sterling, I think, in for Mudryk. That's likely after Mudryk played against Manchester Red. Pochettino stuck with the same team that drew with Burnley, so expect some changes. 4-3-2-1 for Chelsea. We may see a change in midfield, maybe Caicedo dropping out, and that could mean Gallagher dropping to hold and a more offensive midfielder coming in, like 𝗜ʰ𝗱𝗶𝗏𝗏. Let's just call him Carney, it's easy to say. Injuries. Sanchez remains to be seen if he'll be back. 𝗍𝗍𝗂𝗶𝗿, Ben Chilwell, not sure if he's fit, not that serious. Nkunku, Fofana, 𝗬𝗏𝗀𝗏, Lavia, and Reece James. Probably said quite a few of those names incorrectly. Silva remains out of favour. I don't know why. Maybe he comes in for 𝗵𝗏𝗍𝗶, who has been pretty woeful. Again, probably got some of those names wrong. I don't support Chelsea. And I sometimes get Sheffield United players wrong, so sue me. Now, the referee for this one, a name I can handle. It is Robert Jones from Merseyside. Robert Jones Boyle. And this season, he's taken charge of 30 matches, 137 yellows. That is high. 5 red cards, 3 of which were second yellows. 7 penalties. He previously refereed our 2-1 win at home against Wolves, 4th of November 2023, where he was quite kind to us at the end of that match, if you remember. Now, player connections, players that have played for both. This brought to you by 𝗵𝗏𝗶𝗶𝗏. 𝗵𝗏𝗶𝗶𝗏, a virtual band. Many of their members are Blades. They've got a new album out. Check it out, 𝗵𝗏𝗶𝗏.com. It's also on Spotify. Tall Tales of 10 Girls is the name of the album. I'm really loving the track Sulin, by the way. So player connections, players that have played for Chelsea and Sheffield United that I can think of. Nigel Spackman, of course, former player for both, but also a manager of Sheffield United. Good one as well. Graham Stewart, David Lee, who could forget? I'm sure lots of people. And John Arley. My wife's upstairs thinking, what am I doing? Who can you think of? Now, score prediction. I'm going to be bold here. I'm quite impressed with that performance at Anfield, and I think the players will believe in themselves a bit more. Because call me crazy, I still think this is actually quite a good squad that we've got. So I know, and that is a silly thing to say because the league position, doesn't actually make that accurate. And obviously we've lost some good players, but I feel like we've got good players, and if we can keep the core next season, we'll do fine. I'm going to say Blades 1, Chelsea 1. Interestingly, Nick from London is Blue podcast says Blades 1, Chelsea 2. Why not? Let me know your score prediction in the comments, and also check out our audio podcast. I'd love to know your thoughts on that. You can let us know on iTunes. Bye.